Good afternoon, 3rd and 4th grade. Today in Fun Play Art, we are designing planets. So what you're going to need, you're going to need your markers, you're going to need a plate that's in your folder, and your circle that's in your folder. Okay, the circle is going on top of the plate. Okay, so you should have your circle on top of your plate here. Alright. Now, when we think about planets, we think about planets closest to us in our solar system. Now, the two that I have are actually some of our outer planets. This first one's Jupiter. And Jupiter, as you can see, has a lot of these different kind of lines on it. And then you've got this big red storm in the middle. That red storm is kind of like the circle, and that's kind of the famous thing on Jupiter that people know as the red storm. Okay, so think about that. That's Jupiter. And this one is Neptune. Neptune, you can see this dark spot down here, that's also a storm. And then see how the lines just kind of go across it like this? Those lines are actually created by the rotation of those planets. Keep that in mind as we design our planets today. Your planet is going to be it's going to start like this. Our goal is that it's going to end looking somewhat like this. Now, for our assignment today, you need to make sure that you follow directions really, really well so that you stay neat. Okay? Neat and clean. So, you're going to need your markers. In your markers, darker colors work better. They'll be brighter, but if you want to use an orange or a yellow, you could as well. I'll show you kind of both of those colors on mine so you see what the final product will kind of look like. Alright, I'll start with my planet. Notice here, this is kind of tough to see because they're both white, but this is my white circle. It's sitting on top of my plate. Alright, that's so that when we do this assignment, we don't get whatever you're working on dirty. Alright, so we want to try to keep everything on our plate. I'm going to start with some green, and I'm going to go kind of in those lines like we saw on Neptune. So I'm going to kind of go like this. I've got those lines. If you make it a little bit curved, it'll make it look a little bit three-dimensional. Okay, you could just go straight across also, but if you add a little curve to it, that'll make it kind of look like it's going to pop off the paper a little bit more. Alright, I'm going to add a second green line right here. Now I'm going to add my storm. I'm going to do my storm in green also. So maybe I got the storm coming right in here. Next I'm going to add some blue on here. Maybe I'm going to have another storm down here because my planet, I'm designing it, I decided my planet has two storms. Alright. I'm going to add a little bit more blue up here. We want the entire planet covered in color. Notice it's really good that I'm doing this on my plate because as I get a little bit off the edges, it's going on my plate and not the table that I'm working on. I'll add some yellow at the some orange at the bottom so that you can kind of see what that would look like once we add water to it. Alright, I've got orange at the bottom. Then I'm going to add some purple in. Maybe put some purple around my storm. Here, and then maybe at the top. Alright, I'm also going to add a little bit of black here. I'll add it around this storm, down here, and then just over all the way to the side. Then in the middle, I'm going to finish that off, adding a little bit of pink in here. Okay? This is your own fictional planet, so you can make it whatever colors you want. When we're done with our planet, I'm going to ask you that if you would like to show everybody else your planet, you'll make a Flipgrid video, and in your video you'll tell us about your planet, tell us what it's like there, tell us who lives there. Remember, it's fiction, so if you want aliens to live on your planet, you could live aliens to live on your planet. If you're in 4th grade and you're loving your Star Wars theme, you could have Star Wars characters living on your planet. It's up to you. All right, now here comes the fun part. This is the part that you need to be really, really careful. Okay, you need to be really careful as you're doing this part. So we got our plate with our planet on it. This planet stays on the plate. Do not touch it until it's dry. If you touch it before it's dry, you're gonna get marker on your hands, and then you might have a mess on your hands. All right, so what's gonna happen? I do not need to touch my plate anymore. I do not need to touch my planet anymore. I'm just gonna touch my water, and I'm gonna sprinkle it onto my planet, okay? A little bit at a time so that I'm not making a mess. You can use multiple fingers. Get your water on your hands, and then you can sprinkle it on your planet. Notice how I'm kind of doing it in line with my stripes on my planet, so to kind of keep those colors together. They're gonna mix together, that's okay. If you put more water on, more of that ink is gonna come off of that filter and onto your paper beneath it, okay? So less water is better. Less water is better if you want to keep the colors on your filter. All right, now I see it's a little bit dark here. I want to lighten that up so I can see what colors I put on there. So I'm gonna add just a little bit more water. I'm gonna add a little bit more water there. Notice how my purple and pink kind of blended together there. I think that looks really, really cool. Now, I'm just gonna leave this sit. Now, it looks kind of dark. When I take it off of the paper, it's not gonna be as dark. For example, let me show you one that I already did. This one, I did about an hour ago, so I've let it dry for plenty of time, that now when I pick it up, I'm not gonna get my hands all dirty. All right? See, on my plate, it looks kind of dark. Then when I pick it up, it's gonna lighten up a little bit, especially as you get the light into it. Now, let me see if I can tip my camera up. Awesome. See as it's in front of that light? Right? See how light's gonna kind of go through there? This would look really cool now that you're done with your planet. This would look really cool if you put it on a window or something, and then in your bedroom maybe, and then you can have a planet sitting on your window. Now, if you're done with your planet, once you've let it dry, feel free to make a Flipgrid video to tell us what the name of your planet is, tell us who lives on your planet, and any other important information that we must know to see if we want to take a trip to go visit your planet. All right, thanks, and I'll see you next Fun Friday.